If you're in Seattle, and you need to buy or sell a home, we'll be right there for you. Because we're the realtors that you can trust. So go to ronanddonsitdown.com.
You're listening to The Ron and Don Show on the Ron and Don Radio Network.
Hey, you guys, what's going on? Welcome to another edition of the Ron and Don Show, and we are back in the Team Lisa .com studios. For all your mortgage needs, go to Team Lisa
with a Y
.com. In fact, we got a wonderful message from our clients this morning, Ryan and Cindy. They're moving down to Florida. They said, boy, do we have a mess on our hands. We're trying to buy a home down there. We haven't sold our home here yet. What do? We're like, you call Team Lisa with a Y .com, and she'll get you handled. And they sent me a note this morning and went, wow, she is absolutely incredible. So, hey, we're not going to do the news as we see it. We're going to just do kind of a catch-up summer show here real quick. I am fresh off a 4-day. We did a month of football practice, spring football practice. We didn't have spring football practice growing up.
We had like OTAs.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But can we back up 1 second? Because I wanted to ask before we go into this particular story, what is it like being a football coach? So, like, you were a good football player, a very good football player in high school. You and I went to the same high school. And then basically decades off, you still watch the game, love the game. We would go to football games. You had season tickets to the Hawks. But in terms of, and I think you'd go to some UW games, but you were a fan for decades. Then you have your son who, honestly, for the first part of his life, didn't know if he was even attracted to football. Mm-hmm. Like, he was into Lego and music and, a bunch of different, playing Pokemon and that sort of thing. Yeah. And then he got into football. And so what's it like for you to become a football coach, knowing how big of an impact football coaches had on your teenage life?
Yeah, that's a good question. First of all, people reach out to me all the time, and they're like, hey, you're a yeller and a screamer. Don't do that to your son. And those are people that don't know me. Like, when I yell and scream at football practice or with my kid, and you'd have to ask him and check in, but it's usually out of excitement and exuberance. It's never out of anger. I grew up in that angry house. We just went to camp. I saw angry coaches at this camp. And I'm not sure what they're angry about. In fact, I pulled one of the coaches aside. I was eating in the dining hall with him, and I'm like, hey, I see that you really bite on your players. And then in getting to know him a little bit, I was trying to explore, did he come from a broken home, or did his wife leave him last week, or what was going on? And it's just kind of what he had learned from his coaches, and it's kind of what worked when he was younger. So now that he's older, that's what he kind of does. And I have to say, he has if I name all there were 10 foot. We did a month of spring practice, which all the teams do. You wear shells and helmets and girdles. There is contact, because what happens when the fall season comes around, you basically have a week and a half of football practice, and then you're playing games. So that's one of the reasons why they have spring football here. So through the course of the summer, you don't put your shells and your helmet back on, but you'll get together, you'll weight lift, maybe you'll run a couple plays here and there. But the spring practice is where you install your new offense and defense. Again, because we have new coaches and we're basically a new staff, and Lincoln High School just came out of mothballs a couple of years ago. We have a brand new offense and defense and special teams that we're running that are 3 weeks old. So when we go to camp and we're playing O'Day, right? And they Gunner, my son, who's 181 pounds, is going up against D1 3 technique tackles at O'Day, who are 240, 260, something like that. Sometimes he's having to double team kids like that, and I couldn't believe how tough he was. I could not believe I couldn't have done what he did, and I think a lot of that was from wrestling this past year. But the majority of our kids, here's the news, and we don't have a field. You remember, Ron, at half or lunchtime, or after school, you go out and kick the football or punt the football, or you long snap the football. we don't have a utility field to do any of that. So what you learn is, number one, we cannot snap the football.
It's an
That's
art.
why they moved my son to center, because I practice at home with him snapping the football. He's the only one on the team that consistently can get the football to the
Good.
quarterback.
That's great.
Yeah, but I don't know on the varsity level. But you want a 180-pound center, but it seems like we have one, because the 240-pound one we have cannot get it to
Jason
the quarterback.
Kelsey was an underweight center.
There you go. And I had a little snap camp the other day. You know, Chris Sullivan, who was our traffic reporter, his son Tommy, I don't know if you followed Tommy's career. He played at Archbishop, and he is about Gunner's size, and he became a really good long snapper, and he walked on at Montana State University. He ended up getting a full ride, which I would love, right? I would love for Gunner to get a full ride. Think of all the stuff we could do with this college money.
Yeah, exactly.
You and I could travel everywhere. So I'm like, hey, man, we really got to get you into. So I paid his son the other day to come over and do a long snap camp. And I'm like, Gunner, you're going to this long snap camp. We're going to have a long snap. So we can't snap the ball. When we
Time out. Looking at a long snapper right here that was highly recruited.
I know,
back in the day
but
by some D3 schools.
Thank you. Of course you were. So you should come out and teach the kids how to long snap.
I don't probably know how to do it anymore.
Number two, once we do snap the ball, if we do start running the ball, what we found out in looking at film is the first time we get hit, we quit. Yeah, on the first hit. And sometimes we throw the ball down in disgust and we put our hands on our hips.
So no
First
beast
time
modes.
we get hit, we quit, hands on hip.
Have you showed him the
Hang on.
Marshawn Lynch clip?
Hang on.
He hit him over and over and over and
Yeah.
over.
Now, here's the good news. If we have to pass the ball, I would say 2 out of 10 times we get the ball to the receiver.
That's great.
But I don't think we completed a pass against any of the 10 teams that we
It's spring
faced
ball.
at camp.
You're learning.
None of them dropped footballs. They all completed their passes. But you're going up against Mount Si. You're going up against O'Day. Bothell over there, they have kids that are like guards that are 240, 250 pounds that don't even play. They bring 200 kids to camp. O'Day must have brought 200 kids to camp. Most of the programs there brought 150, 200 kids to camp. I think we brought 27. So, and then my son is now playing on the defensive line also, because there's no one to really play over there. And what we found out, we're not great tacklers. We're not great tacklers. We're not great throwers of the football. We're not great catchers, and we're not great snappers.
So other than offense, defense, and special teams, you're doing great.
Well, the good news is we didn't have to do any special teams because we have not practiced a punt or a kick all year. We have not practiced one of those.
Back to my original question:
things.
what's it like for Don O'Neill to step into the role of being a coach?
Well, what you have to do is you have to accept that. Like you have, and you have to accept where your team is at, and then you coach them from there. The cool thing is our coach, and you met Coach Packard. My big thing is I'm just trying to hang on to this guy so he doesn't leave, so we get our field built. But the great thing about him and what he does is he meets kids where they're at. He has brought in a coaching staff. I think it's the best coaching staff in Seattle. I really do. And I've been around the Cleveland coaching staff. I've certainly been around the Garfield coaching staff and the Ballard coaching staff because I've volunteered at all those places. And 2 of those places with Joey Galloway, not Joey Galloway, Joey Thomas, who played here locally, and then he was the head coach at Garfield. He is now he was the head coach at Ballard. He played for the Green Bay Packers for 6 years. Now he's the head coach at Nevada. In fact, he's coaching his son there, which is pretty cool. But you do have to meet kids where they're at, and then when you're coaching them up, you have to constantly ask them if they're coachable and if you can coach them hard, right? And what was really interesting is I saw a group of kids that were playing with each other, but they weren't playing for each other. And so we had an evening one night where you were supposed to go practice, and our coach said, let's not go practice. Let's see if we can do a team building thing. And so what he asked all the coaches to do is share who your hero was at this team building thing. And we were just sitting in a classroom at a really hot classroom down at PLU, down in Tacoma. And so the coaches all came and shared who their hero was. And the stories were really powerful. And they were very vulnerable. They were very beautiful. And then kids were asked to sit in different groups and get face to face and share who their heroes were, and also talk about the biggest fear in their life. And what was interesting after that, you could see this bond because kids were not on their all the way down there, just on their phones, all the way down there. And you can't tell a kid they can't look at their phone. No one will come play for you. You'll have an empty bus, so you can't do it. So you have to put rules around it. What was really cool, though, is after this team building is to see the kids sit around and talk. And then when they came out the next day, I asked the coach if I could speak to them, and I said, hey, you know, what I've watched in the last month with you guys is you all play with each other. But I've never seen anyone on this team play for each other. And that's the difference, is when we have this human-to-human connection and we play for each other and for our brother. And then I shared a couple stories. And it was cool because I think we really, after that, it changed things for them. I think it changed things for the coaches. But it's very difficult because we didn't have phones back when we played. It is very difficult, like when you're sitting there. I went and ran and got a tent. We didn't have a hydration station. We didn't have I had to make a hydration station, get coolers, get this whatever the version of Tang now is, which is some kind of Gatorade. Putting ice in there, just bringing them comfort. In the meantime, you and I drank water out of a PVC pipe at the high school you went to. And Coach Hall, who also lived nearby, would water the football field and the utility field. And then getting water was a treat at our 4-hour practices, where it was 105 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And he would unhook the sprinklers in the main field. He would turn that into a PVC pipe, which he had drilled holes in, and then he would turn that on, and you would drink from that like cattle, and that was our hydration station. So it made men out of us and made great football. Like you and I came from a great football school, a powerhouse football school. I have to accept the fact that I am not at a powerhouse football school. I have to accept the fact that sometimes when your kids don't have a field and they have to wait till Ingram gets done and we get home at 9:40 at night, that just a lot of parents are going to choose for their kids not to play, and a lot of kids are going to choose not to play. But for the kids that are choosing to play, you have to kind of meet them where they're at and coach them up from there. And I will say, these are some of the nicest human beings and the nicest kids that I've ever been around. And maybe for football sometimes, maybe a little too nice. So, and we're very small, we're very undersized. There was a coach there that was a yeller a number of years ago when Gunnar was in 8th grade, and that's when I started going to the practices because I wanted to see what it was like. And he left us there. I think we have 7 seniors this year. So it's a really, really young team. And Gunnar will be a junior this year. Most of the leaders on there are sophomores, juniors. There'll be freshmen that have to start this year, which is and we are going up against the O'Days and the Eastside Catholics, right? We're going up against top 10 schools, and I think we're ranked 144th in the state. So anyway, it is accepting where these kids are, not where you've been. It's their story, not yours. But seeing if you can take a couple pieces of your story and share that in bits and pieces, and also with this real young coaching staff. I had one coach that he's been really impossible to get to know. And I've never seen his humanity with our kids. He's a great coach. And he's going to be our offensive coordinator. And really trying to connect with him was really hard. And I remember I went in and I sat down with him in the dining hall. The first thing he did is he picked up his phone and he was just staring at his phone. And I'm like, man, how do I have a connection with him? So I started talking to him, and he was still looking at his phone while he was talking to me, not even really realizing what he was doing. But I think I warmed down a little bit and got to know him a little bit. And by the time of our time together, he had definitely warmed up. But they were very long. They were very long days. You're up at 5. You go to bed at midnight. But boy, did I have such fun! It was. You get to relive your childhood, and you get to reminisce about our coaches like Coach Johns or Coach Hall or Coach Bassetti. You get to take some of their quotes, like "Do the best you can," or a little bit more, and share that with kids today. So in that sense, it was really lovely. But it is hard for me to not be great. I put everything into my schooling, into my football, especially after my father split. Like, that became my family. It's really hard for me. So I'm just trying to help with the standard of excellence at the school. Like when we got there, we didn't have a tent. All the other teams had tents. We didn't have coolers. We didn't have water. We didn't have a lot of things. So I went and ran to the store and I got those things so we could look like the other teams. But that is something when you're taking on Mount Si and you're taking on Bothell and you're taking on O'Day. I walked into the O'Day gym. Did you see the video I put up when I walked? I went there. I had to go there for a concussion class.
To get a concussion or
to go. And I have to say, the coaches at O'Day, they put on this class. They could not be nicer. Like, they'll tell you all their secrets. Like, they're gonna bully you. They're just gonna kill you anyway. But they couldn't be nicer.
There's not a ton of secrets in building a good program. It takes time. It takes money. It takes support from the school. It takes facilities, and you build it brick by brick. You don't at the high school level, as far as I can tell, it's very rare for someone to come in. You can't do what they do in college now and go to the portal and pay a quarterback $5 million to come to your school. Like, you just don't.
What we see, though, like when we take on, especially when we take on O'Day or we take on Bishop Blanchette, where Charles' son went. Like, Charles' son was a really good football. He never played. 250 kids out there. They come out of the tunnel. It's like everyone in school is on the football team. So those guys are there, and we look over and we see players that would be going to Lincoln, but they chose the scholarship at O'Day or Bishop because they offer the really good athlete scholarships. Those teams have their own fields, really cool uniforms. Like, there's just a lot of perk to it, and especially if you're a good athlete, you're going to go, I'm going to go one of those other schools. And then while we were away, we found out that the field that the superintendent announced that he was building cannot be built. So that was a nice text message I got. Yeah, that is. So I'm meeting with Ann Bremer tomorrow. We're going to consider suing the school district, and we're also going to consider suing Seattle Parks.
If we need a character witness for Ann, I'll step up. But like other people,
yeah. So I tried to take the field off of the plate of all the coaches so they can concentrate on coaching, and then we had a mom send us that note in the middle of being at camp, and I'm like, that's, even if that is the news, we don't need that news and a text message pulling our hair out being sent to camp. It's like, it's good for things to go to court. It's good for things for a judge to look at it. It's good to get a summary judgment. It's good to it's good that's one of the reasons why you go to court when people disagree. There's $12 million now set aside to build this field, and it's been 7 years. So for somehow, some way, it has to get built. But all that to say, to put a whistle on, to put on Lincoln Heights, to go out there with all these kids, they're all tremendous humans, and I bet we play better this year once we can run, catch, tackle, and hike the football.
How could you not?
Yeah. So more in a minute.
Hey, it's Ron and Don here with our brand new sponsor. It's a mortgage broker, teamlisa.com, teamlisa.com. That's Lysa, teamlisa.com. Lisa, we just did a deal for Dave and Mandy. They needed to buy a new house because they're downsizing. The kids are out before they sold their house they're currently in. How does that work?
There's lots of different ways to do that. I think most people think of a traditional bridge loan, but there's actually a new program called Departing Residence, which can actually be cheaper and quite a bit faster than a bridge loan.
So I know with Dave and Mandy, we did all of this in, it seems like it was under a month.
Absolutely. We can do it in 14 days.
And is it more or less expensive than the traditional bridge loan?
Much less expensive.
Okay, so if you're in that situation where you're like, hey, the kids are gone, we need to downsize. Or, hey, we're having a new kid and we need to upsize, but I don't want to sell this place before we buy, go to teamlisa.com right now. Start the conversation with Lisa and her team. They are the Ron and Don official mortgage brokers right now. So it's teamlisa.com. That's Lysa, teamlisa.com.
If you have a friend that is ready to start their real estate journey, send them to ronanddonsitdown.com.
Hey, you guys, welcome back to the Ron and Don Show. Don't forget, for all your real estate needs, if you want to sit down with us, ronanddonsitdown.com. We sit down online, and then we come out and visit your beautiful property, or come have a coffee if you're on the selling side, and we set up a strategy figure out if we're going to be a great team and kind of move forward. So,
Go USA. We're going to the knockout round.
yeah,
32.
we'll get to soccer here in a moment, but first let's talk about the tiny house. What I noticed people did in the Gulf South after Hurricane Katrina is if you wanted, like, let's say that you had kind of a shiznit bike, or right now we have a refrigerator that's on the fritz. If you're having something leveled, you throw all that stuff in there, and then you legally get the insurance money for it, and then you go to the penitentiary like Ray Nagin did for 20 years. Our great mayor down in New Orleans. Anyway, for those that don't know, kind of reset. The tiny house is no more.
Yeah, so this would be for longtime listeners of the Ron and Don Show, going back many, many years. I had a tiny house property on the Skycomish River, and to reset this a little bit, back in the day, when I was married and then going through my divorce, I had always had this dream, if you will, of like either building a tiny house, having some place away from the city that I could go to. And so it could be in the woods, it could be by water. And so I started looking around, actually with our pal Wes Jones back in the day. I was looking around at different lots and like figuring out, is this something that I can do? And it was one of those moments in your life where you're sort of reevaluating everything. It's okay, my marriage failed. What do I want this next chapter of my life to look like? This is really weird. So I was like, I think it would be great to have this spot to go to. And so I looked, I was like, oh, I'd love to buy a place on the water somewhere. So I started taking ferry boats over to all the islands and looking at properties, and anything I could afford was just an absolute, dive.
And then you took a ferry up to Gold Bar, and you're like, this is it.
Yeah, so I went all around over I-90. There's some rivers over there, and looked all over the place. So I found this particular lot on the Skycomish that was what sealed it for me is I went through all the heavy brush and stuff and got down to the river, and there's this giant rock that sits right at like the apex of this property.
Believe it or not, it's still there.
And it's still there.
It's super cool.
And it
goes through all the seasons of life.
Oh my God, it's such a great place to like sit and contemplate and have
Very
a cup
cool.
of coffee. And so as this was happening, unbeknownst to me, and I was just trying to figure all this stuff out in my life, my birth mother, because I'm going to weave a bunch of different stories together here. I'm adopted, and so I had never known who my birth parents were until I was probably 30 years old, and I got reunited with my birth mother. That was a whole process that I think we've explained multiple times on the show, so you can go back and find that if you want to. And so my birth mother came from a big family, and so I think there were 7 or 8 kids, big Catholic family. She had never told her family that she'd given up a child for adoption. And so her parents went to the grave not knowing that she was got pregnant as a teenager and gave up a child for adoption. So she really had kept it as a private piece of information. And so when we got reunited, I went to California and we were going to meet. And so she took the opportunity to tell her brothers and sisters. Her parents had both passed away. She's like, I'm going to tell my brothers and sisters that I have this son that is now grown and that nobody knew about.
And I wonder how much he's worth.
Right. So she tells this to all her brothers and sisters. So her sister, who would be my birth aunt, was a single woman, never been married, and she had worked in San Jose in tech as tech was becoming huge in San Jose, California. And she had bought a house in San Jose, lived and worked there her whole life, never had any kids, never been married. And so without telling anyone, and she was in failing health, she decided, unconsulted, to put me in her will, along with all the other nieces and nephews in the family. And so she just did it on her own volition. We'd never met. She'd never seen me, didn't know about me until I was a full-grown person. Never told anybody. Her health deteriorated, and then she passed away. Again, I'd never met her. She's just Aunt Moore. I never knew her. I don't even know if I've ever seen a photograph of her. So one day while I'm doing this journey of like, can I find a property out in the woods and maybe do a tiny house, I get a certified letter in the mail that says, hey, you've been named in this person's will. So I open
Which is
it,
better than being named in a lawsuit.
Yeah, so
And 10 times out of 10.
I open it up and I was like, I don't even know who this is.
Wow.
And so, but I recognized the last name.
Was my name in there?
No, your name was not in
My
there.
name is- my name is in no one's will.
You are a legitimate child.
Yes.
And so I called my birth mom and I was like, this, and she's like, yeah, evidently you're in my sister's will.
That's awesome.
And so I get this check
That's
in the
great.
mail for a chunk of money. And I was like, what's the best way that I could honor her memory and honor the fact that I got reunited with my birth mom? And so I took that money and I bought this land. Mm-hmm. There's a little bit left over. And I was like, I'm going to buy a tiny house. This is going to be my spot. And so get the land, get the tiny house, develop it over the course of the last like 7 years to clear some trees and put in a pad, and it got electricity installed and
awesome.
a water tank and built a deck and like all the stuff to go up there and enjoy this land. And so it had like this overlay to me of like a promise kept, and like I did the thing I set out to do. Like a lot of times everybody knows people in their lives that start a bunch of things and never really finish them. And so just recently, within the last 18 months or so, I finally felt like, okay, this place is to the point where I can just show up and like there's not a laundry list. There's always maintenance project, but there's not like major things left undone. I can just go up, enjoy this property finally, and it was fantastic.
Blow and go
for like a year.
Yeah, blow and go. Put a camera up, watch the bears.
Yeah, just do the thing.
Yeah.
And so in December, late December, this tree breaks and crushes the tiny house. Go through a bunch of insurance related things, like you said, like dealing with adjusters, and I got to go up there and meet.
Hang on. I didn't really see it as a crush. I saw it as a hit and roll. It looked more like a hit and roll.
It was a hit and roll. Like it landed. It was probably a 115-foot tree.
Like I thought you were going to be able to fix it. Like I was wondering, because you're pretty crafty, Ron. Why didn't you take the lumber from the tree that fell and rebuild the tiny house with it?
Exactly.
Then you have some old growth lumber in there. That'd be a great
the
story.
tree was rotten. So tree falls. I'm working with the insurance, and they make the determination, because of your insurance policy, is it totaled or not totaled? Mm-hmm. So I meet with the first inspector, do these 3D scans. The second guy comes out, like doing all these different things, going with the adjusters, yada yada. So they finally make a determination that they're going to total the tiny house. Then I got to work with the person that's going to put the valuation on the tiny house and the whole deal. So finally, part of this deal when you get a settlement is the insurance company takes your property. They're saying, we're giving you a settlement, we get the property. So like a car or whatever, when it's totaled, they take it away. And whatever they do with it, I'm imagining they send it to auction or whatever they're going to do with it. And so I had to meet, but like for my thing, I was like, they're like, hey, you're going to have to destroy your deck so we can swing it out of there. And I was like, no, I don't think so. Like, why am I voluntarily going to destroy the one thing that didn't get destroyed by the tree?
Those are Treks.
Yeah, it was an expensive deck.
Right.
I bought it at the peak of COVID.
That's right.
When lumber prices were like 4 times what they are now.
It's hard to get good labor up there.
So I work with this towing company, and so they bring up a crane and a F-750 truck, which I've never seen an F-750 before.
I like
an
to see one.
F-750 Ford and this huge crane that you might see on a job site, like lifting building materials onto a 6-story building.
Wow.
And these two guys were great. And so I was like, what's the plan?
They always are.
He's like, well... And he's got like wireless joysticks and panels coming out. You would have loved this truck.
I would love these guys.
And so he's like, we're going to hook up these industrial straps to the tiny house. He's like, I don't think we need to lift it all the way up over the deck, but we're going to disconnect all the plumbing and all the pipes and everything. And I'm going to sort of see if I can scooch it along, like lift it in the air, scooch it along and not destroy the deck. And then once I get it all the way over here, I'm going to spin it and then hook it up to the F-750, and we're going to get it out of here.
This could be a TV show.
Oh, my gosh.
Do you watch the towing shows? Where the guys are just out towing things?
No.
There's one guy that just tows people that get stuck in the sand off beaches, and he has this little Toyota truck he tows them in. I could watch it for hours.
And so you would have loved these guys.
Yeah.
So they come out, pick the tiny house up. It's a 36-foot
It's
tiny house.
it was pretty. It was hardy.
It was a big piece of gear.
Yeah, it was hard.
So they pick it up, scooch it over. They're like spinning it around. Like, it was pretty impressive. The only thing that got broke was like one of the pipes that goes, in the ground. No big deal. And so they scooch it over, take it out, and it was a really weird mix of feelings, because on the one hand, you're impressed by these guys' expertise.
Right.
You're sitting there going, this is like really wild that you can come out into the woods.
What were their names?
I don't remember their names because I was too focused on the watching them do this.
I bet one was Mitch and the other guy was Claude.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think it was like Randy and something else.
Did they have their name on their shirt?
No, because they had the fluorescent
That's why you
vests
can't get
on.
mad at people that vote for Trump, because then you meet guys like this that typically probably did, and they're just salt of the earth. They're just salt of the earth.
So half of me is like amazed at the technology and like how they lifted this giant thing out and got it out, and the other half of me is like, well, okay, this is a big sense of loss.
That is a loss.
That you're now. I posted a video online, and in the video it was the day, like right when it was removed, and I was like, well, I guess I'm back to starting over. And then as I edited that video and posted it, I was like, I'm not starting all the way over. Like the deck is still there.
That rock's not going anywhere.
The rock is still there. I call it the Rock Royale. Rock Royale is still there.
You have all kinds of friends that have come up to help you. All those memories are still there.
The memories are still there.
All that friendship is still there.
Yeah, so and I can still go up there, and I've gone up and fired up the barbecue and listened to some tunes and made some campfires. So I had the arborist up right after that because I was like, okay, I'm going to spend $3,000 to have him go through the lot, and so he took out a couple more trees.
Are you allowed to do that there?
Yeah, I mean, he's a certified arborist.
No, I'm just wondering if it's like Seattle where you have to get permission to take a tree down.
He did his thing.
Yeah.
So he cut up the tree that fell into rounds, and it was like, once you saw it on the ground, you're like, okay, yeah, no wonder this thing fell. Took out a couple trees he thought were dangerous. So that's where it's at now. There's rounds of firewood everywhere. The tiny house is gone. And planning like what comes next.
You gonna build something on a slab, or are you gonna?
I'm exploring all my options. Let's just put it that way. I'm exploring my options right now because I don't know how all the regulations and permitting and all that stuff work. But yeah, I mean, I definitely. The good news is I still have the land. I love it up there. You've been up there. Yeah. You had your Volkswagen up a couple times, and I watched you go down to the Rock Royale first thing in the morning, and it's really a magical place.
Yeah, you go down the dam on your bike. It's super cool. It's interesting because we've seen the bears on camera. We saw your neighbor's place flood. You dodged that. We saw the fires.
Yeah,
seemed to dodge that.
It's been a lot
but you didn't dodge this. How do you not feel sorry for yourself? Like you have another homestead that is flooded, I think, 3 times. You had 2 homes in the path of Katrina, where that's where most of our radio shows got lost, and you got tremendous loss. So how do you not slump and not feeling sorry for yourself?
I mean. Yeah, I probably do a little bit when it happens. I'm like, really? Like, it's more, I don't know if it's not a depression. It's just like, what in the why? What is it about me that is attracting these disasters? But you just kind of, what's your choice? Like stuff. The one thing that I think of is like, why not me? Like, I'm not special in some way where I'm not allowed to have a tree hit me. Like, would I have rathered it hit Joe next door? No. Like there's nothing inherently special about, like, the nature doesn't know that I lost 2 homes in Katrina. Like, you know what I mean? That river doesn't care about me. That's the one thing I learned. I think when you were climbing Rainier that one time, the The mountain doesn't care about
Lou
me.
Whitaker, the Whitaker brothers.
And so, like, I'm choosing to be by the river. River doesn't care about me. That forest doesn't care about me. It's just being a forest. I'm the one that wants to be close to nature, and it provides me with something, but it doesn't care back. It doesn't love me back in the same way that I love it. And so I've been on the wrong end of the deal a couple times, and you just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Or you tap out. You could say, hey, I'm done, and I'm going to just sell it, see what I can get for this property. But I like it up there. It does nourish the soul.
Yeah, and you think at your age, I'll just sleep on the ground, and then you do that for one night, and you're like, no, I'm not sleeping on the ground. Every time I get on a plane, I'm riding up front. As soon as you start feeling that comfort, it's hard to walk away from the comfort, and you have that dialed in. Was there anything that was left inside, or because you had all your guitars in there, you had all your dishes, were you able to salvage everything that was inside?
Yeah, I could take out everything I want. I took out the refrigerator. I took out the induction cooktop, the microwave, like stuff like the guitars are out, the mattresses.
But it wasn't. Sometimes in these, you go to auction and you basically buy it back. You're moving on. You're not interested in that.
Yeah, I'm going to move on and hopefully see if I can do bigger and better things. But it's going to be a long road, a long and winding road, if you will.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry about that because I know how much you love it up there. Is there? You can always borrow our camper and take it up there. And I would just make your future. Well, your life partner. She'll have to sleep up top though.
Sounds good.
Because you would break the bed. So would I. And Matt would we would all break the pop-up bed. But you can sleep down below and she can sleep above.
We will figure it out.
So if you need to borrow it, let us know. More in a minute.
Thanks for being a part of the Ron and Don Nation. Subscribe to the Nation News at ronanddonsitdown.com. A behind-the-scenes look at everything Ron and Don.
All right, you guys, welcome back to the Ron and Don Show. Don't forget, if you need us, ronanddonsitdown.com. We'll sit down with you virtually. 45-minute conversation. We can send you a buyer's playbook, a seller's playbook, or also talk to you about investing as well. And if you need help with mortgage or any questions about your mortgage, refinancing, what do you do if you've spotted a house that you want to buy but you haven't sold your house yet? There's all kinds of programs that Team Lisa,
LYSA.
yeah, Team Lisa with a Y.com, our mortgage team can take care of you. So just give them a call today, and she's very responsive. Like I'll text her sometimes 8, 9 o'clock at night with a new client, and by 6 in the morning she's already following up. So Team Lisa with a Y. .com. I see you got your USA half kit on today.
Yeah, my half kit. I don't think this is the official.
It doesn't
World
look.
Cup
It doesn't
kit.
look like it. It looks like that shirt was made in China.
I like it. It probably was. I think it was made in
It
China.
has to be made in
Totally.
China. This
The kit, the USA World Cup kit. I do not like the kit.
Yeah,
not like this kit.
Before we get to that, my favorite thing is when you go to Mount Vernon. Have you been to Mount Vernon?
For a day or a lifetime.
Yeah,
I was born in Mount Vernon.
So I rode Mount Vernon, Washington,
yeah.
D.C.
Oh, Mount Vernon, D.C.
Yeah.
I think I've been there too. Yeah.
You would know because you see
to
George Washington's crib.
place.
Yeah. When you go into the store, everything in there that is George Washington and America, I mean, down to the chocolates, everything is made in China.
Of course.
Made in China or Thailand.
All the Make America Great stuff's made in China.
All of it. Like all of it. I took pictures of all of it. I don't think I ever posted the pictures. I don't think I ever did. And it's the same with all this stuff that our current president sells. All the America stuff, the Bible stuff, and all
I'm pretty sure it's made in China.
You just checked Ron's shirt? Yeah. The USA shirt?
Yeah, it's China.
That's, yeah.
So it might be, Thailand or something.
Nope.
China.
Nope. Usually the stuff that made in America it's more expensive, but a lot of times it's stitched. So
have you
that is not stitched.
participated in any World Cup action here in Seattle since our last show?
Boy, I participated in driving down to camp and driving the wrong way and driving into the World Cup crowd, which was a huge
mistake.
But I loved it.
Yeah.
I had to say I was glad. Maybe I kind of did it on purpose because I wanted to feel it. I wanted to see it. I wanted to touch it. It just shows you that people can get together in mass from all over the world and certainly all over the States. And of course, we have Pride that's going on in Seattle right now. There's people that, people aren't vandalizing things. They're not breaking things. They're not getting arrested. They're not going to jail. And also, our city cleaned up rather nicely. And
It's been fun for me to see people that post online. They're like, hey, I watch the news. I get a steady diet of the United States is dangerous and everybody's carrying a gun and all the bad things that happen and riots in all these cities. And they say, now I've been here. It's like, this is the most friendly people I've ever met. The food has been great. People have bought me drinks and things everywhere I've gone and just come out and chatted me up when they know that they see that I'm from a different country. It's really heartening to see all of those stories, and it makes me happy.
Yeah, you and I have been lucky enough to follow a lot of teams, work for a lot of teams, be in a lot of stadiums. And the interesting thing about Seattle, especially when you see it on Thursday night football or Monday night football, Sunday night football, usually a night game, or you're watching a Mariner game, I'll always have friends from around the country reach out to me and say, are you there? Are you there? Are you there? And that was certainly happening during the World Cup as well, when people were seeing the way that our city shines on TV. And the interesting thing is, it's like with real estate pictures. You have to be really careful about making your real estate pictures too nice, because if you make them too nice and people come out and see the property, they're hugely disappointed, right? You have to be really careful. Like, even AI and all that, there's been rules around that in real estate for a long time about doctoring your pictures. I have to say, though, like Seattle on a 78-degree day, whether you're watching it on TV or whether you're here and you're down on the streets, it's pretty spectacular.
It's delivering.
And I have to say, like, the past couple days, I've like this doctor that I've been going to see for just a sports therapy thing. And so I've been down in that area of town after World Cup stuff the night before. And you go down, and they've done a really good job of cleaning up Seattle. It's still very clean, even after all those people have rolled through.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not because I think there's these big cleaning crews like you see in New Orleans or you see in Memphis or San Antonio or Austin, or after a night of partying in Nashville.
Slobs.
People are just taking care of the city that's taking care of them.
You know, the thing that's astonishing to me as I looked this up the other day, we like to think of, the Super Bowl is huge viewing audience. So I think the last Super Bowl, the Seahawks Super Bowl where they won, I think it had around 42 million viewers in America.
For what?
For the Super Bowl.
No, always over 100 million.
No, it's not over 100 million. Again, there's no way.
For the Super Bowl?
For the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it's not over 100 million.
Matt?
Look that up.
How much do you want to bet? Because it's not 40 million. 40 million would
in
be
the United States.
Yeah, it's over 100 million.
All right, let's
and then worldwide, the numbers.
For this.
You don't have to pause. I mean, maybe you do. I don't know.
Yeah, 40 million would be like a NFC championship game.
No, let's see what the Super Bowl numbers are.
Across NBC, Peacock, Telemundo, and digital platforms, Super Bowl 2026 averaged 125.6 million.
All right, I
viewers.
stand corrected. 125 million people.
It ranks as the second most watched U.S. television broadcast in history.
Wait, I should win something for this.
You win being right.
Okay.
And so
that's good enough for me.
But my point
believe me,
is,
at my house, I'm fairly right.
when you look at the worldwide television numbers for like...
Wait, you're going to go right on with the story and I don't get to bask in the glow of being right?
Bask in the glow.
Okay.
And so you look at the...
no, thanks for the recognition.
Yeah, you were right on that one.
Yep.
I misremembered the numbers. When you look at the worldwide numbers for like an Argentina-Messi World Cup game, it'll be like 1.1 billion
Well, now we
people.
can't trust you and your numbers. Now we can't trust the numbers.
Okay.
Like if your numbers initially were even
There's
close
way more
to being
people
right.
worldwide watching like a Messi Argentina game.
Thank God that Matt is here with his
Fact
smartphone.
check.
His smartphone. His smartphone.
This is the fake media here grilling me, fact checking me in real time.
Well, you
I
need
feel
to be
like I'm
fact
up
checked.
with.
You came in here with a half
Mike
kit
Douglas.
on, saying USA that we had to look and it's made in China.
All right. Hey, Siri.
It's not even American made.
What's the worldwide numbers for an Argentina World Cup game on television?
Argentina matches at the 2026 World Cup are drawing massive audiences, heavily driven by Lionel Messi's star power. His group stage debut against Algeria drew 9.1 million viewers on Fox, peaking at 10.5 million.
How many? He's saying worldwide though. How many worldwide?
Including Telemundo and Peacock viewership.
No, worldwide.
That's just for.
We want world. The Super Bowl numbers would be bigger worldwide than the 125. Those are just United States numbers. But
My point is,
worldwide, it's
many
hundreds of
more
millions.
times people are watching.
I'm not
the
going to let
World
you
Cup.
make your point.
Oh, here it is. 1.5 billion viewers.
There you go.
1.5 billion.
Most watched football match in history.
There you go. Well, it's too bad we had to fact check you, Upshaw, because you were so off the first time.
All right.
But at least you dialed it in.
I got it back.
You got it back.
A lot of numbers.
You're at 1.1, and I appreciate the fact that you came in on your 1.5.
And so I got a lot of numbers floating in my head because wait till you see our real estate only episode this week. Lots of numbers floating around in my head.
Okay.
So everybody's watching the game. Good luck, USA. I don't think they have a chance.
Why don't we have a
hope-
chance?
They're the 9th best team right now in the rankings. They're making it into the knockout range.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, as now I'm a football expert,
Yes.
is they added all these extra teams this year. This is the first, they expanded the brackets this year for the first time.
Like South Dakota has
So
its own
like
team.
Messi getting a hat trick and the USA scoring all these goals. The 46th best team in the world is way worse than the 25th best team in the world, and so the bottom end is now a lot more porous than ever before.
So what you're saying is, like America, there's no middle class.
Correct. When we get to the next stage, we're going to see what we're really made
Did
of.
they do it because they needed America?
No, they
they
needed
need the
more
American
money.
They need the American story.
They just needed more money.
So who's gonna-
America's done great. They won their first 2 matches, so they're automatically now into the knockout round. And so, in the group stage, you pay the 3 other teams in your group, and then you get 3 points for a win. So they already have their 6 points. They're moving on. But now, depending on who they get in the knockout round, it could be one and done. I mean, I hope they make it farther. But the favorites now are still Argentina defending their championship. That Messi's doing great. Spain with this young phenom Yamal.
We'll have to fact check you on
He's fantastic.
See if he's fantastic.
Portugal-
Some guy named Lamal from Spain.
Yamal. His name's something like Lamal
Jamal
Yamal.
Lamal?
No, it's with an L.
Okay.
Lamal Yamal, I believe, is his name.
And a lot of these guys go to soccer academies since they're like 6 or 7, right?
Yeah, and like Mbappe with France is doing really well. Portugal has stuttered a little bit with Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo, but like we're in that second tier of players.
So who plays next here in Seattle? I did see some.
It's today.
I
and
saw people running around with
it's
some flags on.
Qatar.
Is it Qatar?
I believe it's Qatar in Bosnia or something like that.
Okay.
Something. It's too.
I have to show you a picture. This
Is it Lamal Yamal?
It's Lamine Yamal.
Lamine Yamal?
Look at that picture.
Lamine, maybe, yeah.
Okay.
What can you describe?
It's a big tub of pasta.
How much of pasta would you say that is?
I'd say that's 4.5 pounds
How
of
many
pasta.
people would that feed?
What kind of people? Like teenage football players?
People that are here to watch soccer.
Oh, that would feed 2 people. 3 people.
No. It's deep. It's about 6 inches deep.
Okay, so 4 people.
So we're showing pictures on the radio, which is always good. If you want to see
What does this have? Where is this taken from?
My garbage. I cannot believe the amount of garbage that people create when they travel, and they don't give a shiznit how much food they waste. Everybody goes to Costco. They buy as much shiznit as they can.
Because I've never been to a Costco before.
And then
Because
is
they
that what it
get
is?
taken. Yes. You haven't seen the videos online?
Look at that.
Of Europeans
This-
going to Costco for the first time? They buy everything. They're like, what in the world is this store? How can I not buy everything?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
People are just gobsmacked by the Costco.
I had some
And didn't
people.
we all do that when Costco first
yeah,
came
when it first
out?
came out, you're like, how can I not buy 2 kayaks for $8.99?
Yeah, I'll get this tub of red vines.
No, I used to work at Costco, and it's one of the reasons I haven't had a Costco card my whole life since I worked there, because I would already spend my money while I'm working there going, well, I was giving birthday presents and Christmas presents to like third cousins, because you find, so yeah, I was buying dog food that's like $9.99 for 100 pounds. I didn't even have a dog.
I joke about the 2 kayaks. I bought 2 kayaks.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because they were such a good deal. It's like, I can't afford to not buy these kayaks.
Yeah.
And I found a way to use them, but like, I literally was like, I got to have these kayaks.
Where do the kayaks go?
When I got divorced, the kayaks went away.
You didn't split them up.
No.
I get a kayak. You get a kayak.
I didn't want the kayaks anymore.
No, I have to. That makes sense. I feel better. I always have to go through the garbage at my rentals on the short term, especially in the summer, because everybody comes from another part of the country or another part of the world, and you can write down what the recycling rules are, and nobody follows them, and nobody knows what the blue can, the tan can, the green can. Just
You got to resort everything.
So I go through. I have gloves, and we resort. And I was resorting this morning before I got here, and I could not believe the amount of food that these people left behind.
you
Some
don't-
of it had not even been open.
You don't want to run out
But it's
you're in the
but
World
it's all
Cup.
from Costco.
when you're with the World Cup.
It's all from
Yeah,
Costco.
why wouldn't it be?
Okay, that makes sense to me. It's interesting because I was in a Costco for our football team over the weekend, and I saw one of these push cart wagons. You see the wagons, the pull cart wagons. So I buy a pull cart wagon. So because we're the only team carrying around all our big thermos jugs full of water, and when you got to walk half a mile of the practice field, it gets pretty heavy. So I bought this wagon at Costco. I'm taking the garbage out for the team, and I turn around and my cart is gone.
Uh-oh.
So I'm thinking, well, no other football team would steal a cart, would they? But I started thinking, oh, Mount Si, huh? Maybe Mount Si has my cart. Maybe O'Day took the cart. Maybe Bothell took the cart.
So did you brand it?
We didn't have time. I took it right out of the
that's your
box.
fault.
We were using it, and I'm like, "Do we have the Lincoln football stencils?" They're back at school. So I'm like, "Okay, we'll just." So I took the garbage out. 4 minutes later, I turn around. The cart is gone, as I shared. Coming back down the next morning, it's about 7 a.m. And this guy who's living on the side of the street out in the field, he has a whole like tent and a teepee, and there's a washing machine and an engine, and in the middle of it is the Lincoln football. Well, really mine, our brand new cart.
Did you go get it?
I couldn't.
You donated it to the homeless guy?
He looked really happy with it,
Well, it's a good cart.
and I'm like, you know what? I'll just go get another card. I'll get another card. And then what was weird is I got back for Father's Day, and I opened up my Father's Day gift. Guess what it was?
A cart.
From my son. He had already bought that cart, and then when he saw me down there with the cart, he was like, damn.
So now you got 2 carts.
No. Because the homeless person still has the cart.
I thought you just said you bought a second cart.
I was going to buy a second cart.
Oh.
You weren't listening again.
I just have a feeling that. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, now this is what I don't like though. The cart from Costco, I just opened it up and it was a cart. The cart he gave me, I got to put together. I don't want to put it together. So I don't know how to tell him I'd rather have the cart from Costco that I don't have to put together, because now I have this cart that I have to put together. What I like to do is put the cart together. Do you think this is wrong? Drive back down to Tacoma. I know where the homeless guy is. See if we can trade carts, because I like the other cart better.
Matt, can you excerpt that for me and I'll just text it to Gunner?
I think you should get together with Gunner and put the cart together, both of you, and that would be a great.
No,
fun.
we've been together a lot.
That'd be
We don't need to be together. We've been together a ton, and we'll be together a ton. No, I'm very no. I love the cart, and I was like, hey, isn't that a coincidence? It's not, Ron. It's the universe.
Okay.
That's what it is. Matt, you got anything? We got to get out of here. I'm sweating my balls off.
I got nothing on that.
Okay, you got anything?
Let's wrap.
Okay. Hey, you guys, thanks for listening to this episode of the Ron and Don Show. We sure do appreciate it. Coming up, we're going to talk about real estate, and we're going to talk about the Fortune 15. What are we going to be saying about the Fortune 15, Ron?
You're going to have to wait for the real estate episode on the Ron and Don Show.
That is a teaser. We had AI write that for us, so you'll have to tune in. All right. I want to thank Matt for helping to produce today's show. I want to thank Ron for being here. I'm here. I want to thank that fan over in the corner. What is it, like 109 degrees in here now?
It's hot in here.
It's got to be. All right. Anyway, we got to go. Thanks to my son for being the 7-year-old version of our station voice, Charlie the dog.
Speaking of fans, I'll say hi to the Bri the Pie guy.
Bri the Pie guy. I did get called. Someone did call the Seattle police yesterday, and they immediately called me because Charlie was in the truck. And I'm like, well, did they tell you that all 5 windows are down on the truck? They're like, yeah, but he was in there crying. I'm like, because you're standing by the truck at the Metropolitan Market and you're walking by with food and he would like food. I was just glad to get a call from the police because they never, you could be like, hey, my bank just got robbed. They aren't coming. But the fact that Charlie was in the truck with all the windows down, I was glad to get a call from Seattle Police. Till next time, RonandDonSitDown.com if you need us, TeamLisa.com for all your mortgage needs. You host the Ron and Don Show on the Ron and Don Radio Network.
Thanks for listening to the Ron and Don Show. Please hit subscribe.